Satu lagi kabar menyedihkan datang dari bumi Gaza. Bagaimana salah seorang influencer yang sering kita ikuti, Saleh, juga ternyata meninggal dunia. Dan bahkan ini yang menyedihkan bahwa Saleh sendiri meninggal dunianya bukan karena drone, bukan karena bom, tapi karena pengkhianatan dari warga sendiri. Apakah dia kemudian akan mendapatkan keadilan? There are ceasefire now in Gaza, but what viral news happens today is Saleh being murdered. Even though there's ceasefire, there's something still happening in Gaza. There are two kind of point of view. This is a traitor or civil war? What do you want to say about that?
It is traitors who are trying to instigate a civil war.
Yeah.
Because they know how popular.
They're trying to instigate.
They're trying. We can't allow that to happen. And again, it's this parasite class that does not have any moral issue with creating wealth out of misery and barbarism. They are uncivilized. They love calling us uncivilized. But who is civilized and who is uncivilized?
Yes.
And so we have to target the companies that are wanting to benefit from the destruction of Gaza and of Palestine.
So we're talking about the ceasefire that's happening now in Gaza, right?
Yes.
What do you want to say about that? It is permanent ceasefire, or it's only a break time from the genocide?
It is a change in tactics.
Oleh sebab itu, alhamdulillah hari ini kita akan kedatangan seorang ahli hukum internasional ini. Beliau ini adalah ketua dari ILCP, Koalisi Hukum Internasional untuk Palestina, cabang Afrika, kemudian pendiri ISMAP, Gerakan Solidaritas Internasional untuk Afrika dan Palestina, juga SAMEK, Alliance, Aliansi Amerika Selatan, Afrika, Asia, Timur Tengah, dan Karibia. Banyak banget. Dan sekarang dia lagi ada di Jakarta, namanya Shabnam Palesa Mohamed. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you very much.
MashaAllah. So you're from South Africa.
Yes.
But the name mixed Arab and India.
Yes. So Shabnam, that's such a good question. Shabnam is Hindi and Persian. Palesa is African.
Palesa is African?
Palesa is African.
What's the name Palesa?
Flower.
Flower.
Or rose, warda. And Shabnam is dewdrops, ambun.
Embun. Embun. You know, embun dia bisa ngomong bahasa. Ya.
And my great grandparents come from India and settled in South Africa.
So your whole life is in South Africa?
Whole life. So
how is the language of South Africa? I want to know.
Very beautiful. So I would say, to say hello to you, I would say we have many languages, but in isiZulu, where I come from, we would say Sanbonani, which means I see you.
Sanbonani.
I see you. Isn't that beautiful?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Sanbonani.
Yes.
First African film that I watched is God Must Be Crazy.
Oh, that was funny. It was funny then.
Yeah.
But when we grew up and we watched it and we saw how the indigenous people were depicted as not intelligent.
Yes. Oh, you got the point. Yeah.
That was deliberate.
That was the campaign probably. Is it?
That was the
campaign.
The campaign. Yeah. It's propaganda. It's colonizing the mind.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of work to do to decolonize the way we think, because you know Hollywood is
so we thought that in South Africa, there are people. I mean, looks like the what was the name? The characters.
The Khoisan.
That man.
Yeah.
So probably the one who haven't went to South Africa, they thought the population is like that.
Exactly. And that serves the colonizers, right? Because they are then superior and we are inferior in the minds of the viewer.
It was like casta.
Casta? Yes.
Caste, yeah?
Yes.
Oh. So I'm wondering, what is, I mean, how is the journey begin? So you're interested in affecting the Palestinians?
Well, I think I've been an activist since the age of 5.
Since what?
Yes.
Age of 5?
Yes.
So it might be your parents have already give that kind of information.
Absolutely. And my grandmother, may Allah grant her Jannah, she was always working with the poor, trying to help the poor, growing food for the poor, fighting for their rights. So that was my influence growing up. And my parents have always encouraged me to stand up for the oppressed, to speak up for what is right. And my values also as an African, we have a philosophy called Ubuntu.
Ubuntu? What does it mean?
Which means humanity. It means, so the whole phrase is Umuntu, Gumuntu, Gabantu, which means I am because you are. You are because I am. We are because of each other.
Yes, yes, yes. So we're not living alone in this universe yet.
Absolutely. All our struggles are connected. And of course, being Muslims, we know that Allah has created us and He tells us in nations and tribes. So we may know each other.
Whoa, mashallah.
And the duty of our last Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is to serve all of humanity. That is our duty too.
Mashallah, that's beautiful. So your parents already put in your mind before 5 then?
Yes, absolutely.
So you becoming activists from 5?
From 5. And so I understand.
So you're talking to another toddlers.
Exactly. And then growing up in school, I was always the one to ask the questions, to challenge the narrative, to say, oh, hang on, that doesn't make any sense, you know. And we grew up during apartheid, which only technically ended in between 1994 and 1996 with the TRC, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, political democracy, but we still don't have economic freedom. And then at university, being exposed to the different human rights groupings, including the pro-Palestine movement, and some amazing activists that I got to learn from have shaped the way that I think. And now I'm very blessed to be traveling the world, focusing on human rights and uniting people and challenging injustice. MashaAllah.
So I'm wondering, since you were 5, you already heard about some kind of a Palestinian narration from the age of 5?
Yes, from my family. I think we're always talking about where people are experiencing injustice, Palestine, Africa. You know, in Africa, we also have Congo and Sudan.
Oh, yeah.
Also experiencing famine, war crimes, and genocide. Being perpetrated by what I call Zayo imperialism.
I see.
Yes. So our struggles are very much connected. You might know that the uranium that was used to bomb Hiroshima and Nagasaki came from the Congo.
Wow. So they took from other place of the world to destroy the other part of the world.
Correct. They stole it violently.
They stole it violently, and wow.
Of course. And they're still doing the same thing now. They're still exploiting Congo for its resources. Sudan is still being exploited for its gold, which is why there's all of the violence and the poverty. So all of our struggles are connected. We have common enemies, but we also have a wealth of knowledge and skills and creativity around the world, but in particular in the global south.
Wow. I heard the narration that said that every countries that have the wealth inside their earth, their land, that country probably could be put on poverty.
Absolutely.
Because they want to take what was inside.
Absolutely. I mean, it's why South Africa is still experiencing high levels of poverty and what we call economic apartheid, where the rich get richer and the rest get poorer. That is by design. I mean, we have in South Africa enormous wealth, in particular in terms of our mineral resources. But they don't belong to us. They belong to foreign companies, Anglo-American, etc. So we are still being exploited.
Still having that? No?
Absolutely.
Wow. It was like the big plans then, yeah? It was like, you said that, is it Zayo?
Imperialism.
Makes sense. Zayo imperialism.
It's like a new form of colonization, but they do it through companies like British Gas, which is after Gaza's natural gas and resources. So they hide behind a corporate brand to execute their agenda.
So the agenda, I mean, mostly the big plan of agenda is money.
Of course, money, power, influence. We're hoping that one day the Epstein files will be released, so that we know basically it's pedophiles and Satanists that are running the world.
Pedophiles, it's Satan's kids, you know, sacrificing.
Exactly.
And I heard that one of a United States politician that called Henry Kissinger. When he was passed away, he was being honored as a hero. But the history said that he is behind of the 36 conflict of 36 countries. So he's not. At least. At least. He's not belong. I mean, the citizen of that countries, but he's mastermind of the conflict on that countries.
Absolutely. There's a small group of people and those who work for them that are causing chaos around the world. But we are also in the largest awakening in history through Palestine in particular, which is a litmus test for our morality. But it is also a portal into a new world. People are waking up. They're realizing we are all occupied. The only country that is not occupied is Palestine.
It's only Palestine.
And Yemen.
And Yemen.
Yeah.
So every country, I mean every governments are occupied.
Absolutely. If you look at the
politically.
Business, right, but it starts with the business. So Zio imperialism uses bribery, intimidation, and threats to get leaders under control. And they also use the mainstream media. They use the pharmaceutical industry. They use everything they can, culture, education, to try and capture us. But I'm very excited to see the progress of Gen Z, who are very smart.
You said it's Gen Z in your country as well?
Of course.
Oh.
Very smart. Politically, they know what's happening. Sometimes they know more than the ones who are older than them.
Yeah, because my kids know more than because of the information.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, now TikTok's been bought by the US, so we're expecting some censorship. But I have a lot of faith in young people to be able to expose the truth, take power back, and create a more peaceful world. But peace, there's no peace without justice. So I prefer the word liberation than peace. Peace sounds like sunshine and rainbows, but it's not really liberation. Mentally, physically, spiritually, socioeconomically, politically. And that's what we want. And I feel we have a moment in history where we can achieve that.
So the hikmah,
Yes.
is that, it was like a gate of liberation.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. I have that quote then. Then I'm wondering about the ILCP ISMAP and also SAMEC.
Yes.
So you are the leader of this organization. So what is the role in the international level?
So I prefer to think of myself as a change maker rather than the leader. I feel we can empower people when we think of ourselves as change makers in service to the Almighty, in service to humanity. So ILCP is the International Legal Coalition for Palestine. They held a conference in February in Turkey with lawyers from around the world, in particular Palestine, but also from Chile, from the UK, from Canada, real lawyers. And we focused on the ICC, the ICJ, and universal jurisdiction. It was an excellent conference. And they asked me there to co-host the program, and then they asked me to start an African chapter for ILCP. So that's where the work began. And ILCP has been doing some excellent work since then, hosting conferences physically, online, training workshops. We just partnered in a training workshop with Minda, Centra, Paham, Thursday and Friday last week, where we trained young law students and law graduates on international law, human rights, and strategic advocacy, right here in Jakarta. It was brilliant. I'm so impressed by the quality of the young minds and the young hearts in Asia. Of course, I'm not surprised. So ILCP has been involved there, and we're planning to now host similar programs in Africa and bring African and Asian and Global South young people together to train them. And at the same time, we are also planning a Truth and Restoration Commission. So in 1994 to about 2001, we had in South Africa what was called the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, where the victims of apartheid, which was systemic racism, could come and tell their stories of what they experienced. From the dehumanization to the violence to the murders to the theft of land, and where those who perpetrated it, generally the white minority, could come and admit to what they did. Of course, not all of them did that. It was an imperfect process, but what we are planning to do through ILCP is a Truth and Restoration Commission, not reconciliation, restoration. How do we restore to Palestinians as indigenous people what is theirs? Their dignity, which they always have, their land, the homes that they lost, their schools, their hospitals. But how do we also help to restore them psychologically from the trauma that they're experiencing, not from 2023, because that's not when history began. We also plan on filing cases against the companies that are benefiting from the genocide. Right at the top is BlackRock and Vanguard, and you have all of these other companies in mining, in construction, in technology, that we need to actually take action against nationally and internationally. I'm not sure how effective the ICJ is, but it is an international forum that we've used. But
at least we have one.
At least we have one. I do think we need new forums, as I've been saying when I spoke at the Indonesia University on Saturday, that we need to think of alternatives to the United Nations.
The
UN was at the center of the division of Palestine. How then do we trust the United Nations with a Security Council that has no basis in the law, that can veto anything other countries think?
As long as there is veto, there's no democracy, right?
Of course. So Albert Einstein said one symptom of insanity is to do the same thing but to expect a different result. So you keep putting your hand in the fire, it's burning, you take it out, and then let me put it back, it won't burn this time. Of course it's going to burn. Right?
You're gonna have the same result.
Same result. So this is some of the work that ILCP Africa and ILCP will be engaged in with our partners in Asia, inshallah, God willing. We also have an arts program. We've been approached by, and this is through another foundation, the Nanda Subin Arts Foundation. We've been approached by artists from Gaza, and they've asked us to help exhibit their work.
MashaAllah.
So we're hoping to host that in Asia as well. And so that's some of the work with ILCP. The SAMIC Alliance, as you noted, is an alliance for the Global South. Although we care about all of humanity, or what I call the 99%, we don't care about the 1%. We don't care about them, right? Some people call them the elite. I call them the parasites. But we care in particular about the Global South because we have similar challenges, but we also have the greatness to rise out of it. And so we're working together for human rights, solidarity, prosperity, and peace or liberation. We formed it in March this year. We have forums for discussion.
This March?
This March. So we have forums for discussion. We have speakers from these regions talking to us on various topics. And I have great faith in the ability of SAMIC to transform the Global South. And then, of course, there's ISMAP. So ISMAP was probably formed in about June or July this year. It was after the African Interparliamentary Conference on Sovereignty that I was invited to. So ISMAP intends to build a relationship, Afro-Palestinian solidarity, because our futures are intertwined. Some of the plans of Zio-imperialism is to force Palestinians into Africa. So they're looking at Libya, they're looking at Somaliland, they're looking at South Sudan, because they've got influence there.
Probably after when them will be kicked out from Palestine, they're coming after Africa.
Of course. But this is what Netanyahu has said when we have
he said that?
He said it. When we freed the Middle East, we're coming to free Africa. Now, South Africa, you're going to enjoy well, you won't enjoy it, but I have to tell you this. So we have 9 provinces in South Africa, right? So we have 9 provinces, then we have cities, then we have municipalities, then we have towns. One of our biggest provinces is called the Western Cape. It is also on the west coast, and off that coast is also natural gas. So whenever you have wealth, Zio-imperialism is going to come after it, right? So there is a movement now to separate the Western Cape from the rest of the country. And they are saying it's for independence from the political leadership. But what is beneath that? It is another homeland for is not real.
Wow. It was being released, the information, or you just find out?
It's common knowledge now. It's common knowledge that that is the actual agenda. They're calling it the Cape Exit Movement, the Cape Independence Movement. And yes, there is a lot to be unhappy about politically.
You know what? That happened also in Indonesia.
Tell me more.
I'm gonna answer it after this. Go on, go on.
Yeah. So that's the plan, to annex basically the Western Cape. And they're not going to stop at the Western Cape. They're going to come after KwaZulu-Natal next, which is on the East Coast. That's where I am. They're going to come after Gauteng, which is where all the mineral resources are. You might remember a couple of months ago, there were accusations that South Africa is committing white genocide. In other words, the genocide of white people. Even white people themselves in our country has said, actually, that's not true. Okay? But there's a group of white people in our country who went to complain to Trump and tell him that there is white genocide. What does Trump have to do with South Africa? But what they're instigating is for regime change. Remember Iraq? Regime change.
They just want to create the cause.
Correct.
Whoa.
So our president, Ramaphosa, well, the government's president, who's also a billionaire, by the way, went to the US to try and explain. Although I don't feel we owe them any explanations. But the real pretext there, Elon Musk was from South Africa. He owns Twitter, now called X. Right? So he wants to install technology called Starlink. In South Africa. Now we have legislation called the Black Economic Empowerment, which means if you want to invest or start a business, a percentage of the profit must go to the people. And that's right. We have to correct the economic imbalances. He doesn't want to do that. He thinks he's above the laws. So he also complained to Trump so that they could force us to allow Starlink into our country for free. Now I must tell you this, Ari, Starlink is very dangerous. It's not only a communications tool. It's triple use technology.
What is it?
They're going to tell you it's for communications, but it is also for surveillance, right?
Well, it was like a giant CCTV for everybody.
Exactly. Spying and surveillance. Thirdly, it can be used as lasers from space. I'm not saying it. Elon Musk said it himself. So we are now trying to raise the awareness of civil society and political leadership to say, keep Starlink out of your country. Iran said no, but they're trying to get it in. Ukraine, they allowed it in. And then when they felt like squeezing Ukraine, they turned it off. No communications. So we are under threat in different ways. There's multi-pronged attacks. The war is not only bombs or snipers or starvation. It is also this technology. It is also the pharmaceutical industry, which is harming people through its products. The pharmaceutical industry is one of the most corrupt.
Yes, I heard that.
It is part of the defense industry, right? And there are so many people who are harmed by their drugs because of their corruption. They pay everyone. They pay the governments. They pay the media. They pay the policy deciders. They pay the research scientists. And so they get these products into people, and then people, one of those drugs is called statins, which they tell us is for cholesterol. But if you do the research and you see how these statins harm people, heart damage, brain damage, muscle damage. That's what happened to my grandmother, and that's how I learned about the pharmaceutical industry. And they've had to pay in court cases millions for fraud.
What was it? What was the name?
Statins.
Statin.
It's a class of drug. They say it's for cholesterol.
Itu sama nggak mas stunting? Beda. Statins sama nggak mas stunting? So scary.
Very dangerous. So, but that's not the only way. They have many drugs that harm us, and there have been so many cases against Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson's baby powder is causing cancer.
Are you sure?
Yes, there have been cases filed against them. Yes. So you see, the war is not just what we see.
Yes, it's not only weapons.
Correct.
They have proxy weapons then.
Correct. Exactly.
Wow.
So what we need to do, which I'm very passionate about, is turn to natural medicines, indigenous medicines, traditional medicines. I'm sure you have them in Indonesia.
So you're saying that some kind of Starlink is what is counter weapon.
Of course. Of course.
So we use a telecommunication, they suck in our data.
Of course. I mean, they're already spying on us. If we're using WhatsApp, they have everything.
Yeah.
If you're using Google, they know what you're looking at. You're using Gmail, they have all your emails. You're using Microsoft, they have Microsoft. We have no excuse to be using. Microsoft technology is being used to genocide the Palestinians.
Yeah.
Why are we using Microsoft when there are alternatives? So one of our greatest powers as people power, is the economics.
Yeah.
We've got to attack them in their pockets by making conscious choices.
Wow. So there are so many reasons why we have to do the boycott muhadaran.
Yes.
MashaAllah. You know something that in Indonesia, yeah, it's better use English there. So many Indonesians don't know. There's the fact that is in the on the west part of Indonesia, and in the north part of Indonesia. There is the island that is the most, I mean, the richest island in Indonesia. There is the mining, gold mining, and titanium, and also being, what do you call it? Being organized by Americans company. Indonesia only have probably 5 or 10% from that, and of the rest they took it to the country, and there are some kind of militant groups. They want to separate from Indonesia.
Yes.
So it was like the same pattern that they're using, right?
Same formula.
Same formula. After you tell the story, I thought that probably this genocide things is already being done before. Probably it was Americans with Indians. It was like genocide, right?
Of course.
Australian and what do you
Aboriginal. It's their land, but how are they treated? Like third-class citizens.
So it was but like repetitions.
Same formula. It's the same group that's been in power for centuries.
So the Zio imperialism started years ago.
Way before our... I mean, if you look at Congo again, there was a so-called King Leopold from Belgium who genocided 10 million Congolese people. But we don't hear about it. Why? Who controls the media?
Oh, I see. So the one who found, I mean, the first television is Zayo people.
Of course.
It's two Jews that I forget the name, and they create televisions to make the propagandas.
They learned a lot from the Nazis, Goebbels, etc. You know, you can't see the distinction, but this is why independent media, like what you are doing here, is so important. I mean, I know sometimes you might get suspended from YouTube. Even YouTube is controlled by Zayo imperialism. So certain topics you can't talk about. And the minute they suspend you, you know you are on target. You are doing the right thing.
Oh.
So,
it was
congratulations.
It was like a credit from me. Thank you very much. Wow, mashallah. It was like opening everything. So what happened to Gaza was like a hikmah. Many aspects there. It was like an open. I mean, you studied this IPAC LCPS map. It was like what do you call it? It was like brighten. What do you call it there? It was like illuminated.
Yes.
Everybody's moving from their perspective. I mean, every career, if you are a content creator, you create the content about Palestine, create about the political issues and things like that. It was like being open about banking, about how the finance, we were being robbed. Riba. So
Palestine's opened up the eyes to the world, and I have to say that you know, even Americans themselves, ordinary Americans whose tax is paying for these genocides, their eyes are wide open now. Now they have realized what their country actually is. It's just a weapons industry. America is a weapons industry, a weapon of mass destruction. Is not real. I refuse to call it Israel or the state of. There's no such thing as the state of Israel.
They're not on the map before 1974, right?
Of course, and we cannot recognize it as such because then we are encouraging colonization. And so it's a fantasy. It doesn't exist. So it is a military base for imperialism in the Middle East. But they become so powerful through blackmail and bribery.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell which is the dog and which is the tail.
Yes.
Right? Between America and is not real. And so this great awakening that's happening in the West is slow, but it's good to see.
Yeah.
At the same time, we have many Jewish people who stand against Zionism, who are against is not real. The real Jews, the people of the book, the Abrahamic faith, Semitic people like us. We're also Semitic. You can't call us anti-Semitic.
So that's why anti-Semitic. Semitic is the son of Noah, right? Abraham. So if they said they were anti-Semitic, well, actually Israel is Ashkenazi, right?
Of course.
Ashkenazi is from the heritage from the sons of Noah, Yefet.
Europe.
So if they say anti-Semit, it means them.
Of course.
Of
course. We can't be anti-Semitic.
We are pro-Semit. Pro-Semit is pro-Palestine.
I'm going to make a t-shirt saying Semitic, and I'm going to wear it because I am.
So the anti-Semit is their European.
Yes. Right? Anybody who stands with Zionism is anti-Semitic. Zionism is a threat to Jewish people. In my country, in South Africa, for Palestine, it's not only Muslims. It is the black Africans. It is Jews. It is Christians. It is atheists. We are the majority in the country. And we have a mission to make Zionists very uncomfortable. We don't want them in our country. They are there. They have influence. But we are working very hard to tell them they have no place in our country, because Zionism is racism. And we come from a history of apartheid based on race as a pretext for economic theft. So we can't allow them any space in our country.
Well, they are mostly in the government, right?
They have infiltrated.
In almost every country,
yes,
the Zionists are in the government.
Because they fund political campaigns. If you want to win your political campaign, generally you need a lot of money. And unless you are funded by the public, you feel now, oh, you need that big amount of money to run your campaign. So you must take money from what? APAC? Right? APAC is running American politics. But there is a movement in America now called AZAPAC. It's a counter to APAC. AZAPAC is the anti-Zionist American political action group. So
is there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Started by Professor Michael Rechtenwald, and they are pushing back against APAC.
I bet there's so many threat on him.
Probably, but he doesn't care.
Oh, what? USA mean United States of APAC, right? No.
Exactly. Exactly right.
So we're talking about the ceasefire that's happening now in Gaza, right?
Yes.
What do you want to say about that? It is permanent ceasefire, or it's only a break time from the genocide?
It is a change in tactics, where there's this illusion of ceasefire, where Palestinians are still being killed, they're still being starved, there's no aid going in. 3 trucks went in over the last 3 days. 3 trucks. The hospitals are destroyed. The schools are destroyed. There's no water, there's no sanitation, there's barely any electricity. Movement in and out is still controlled by the apartheid regime of is not real. What kind of ceasefire is this? It's basically a bargaining tool, because is not real has realized that the whole world is turning against them.
Yes, of course.
But it's also what they want. They want an excuse to say, oh, look, the whole world hates us because we are Jews. It's not because you're Jews. It's
playing victim,
it's because you're monsters. It's not because you're Jews. Let's not get it twisted. And so this is not an actual ceasefire. And the term ceasefire is not permanent. It's temporary. What we want is liberation. What we want is one state, the state called Palestine. I don't believe.
And 2-state solutions.
What is that? What is that? If you look at the map of how much land has been stolen from, what's left? And now they've completely decimated Gaza, but they're also attacking the West Bank. I mean, let's be clear. We don't hear enough about that. And they have plans to develop what? A Gaza Riviera. They want hotels on the bones of babies, you know, on the blood of the women, the children, the men, the doctors. No, we can't allow that to happen. And again, it's this parasite class that does not have any moral issue with creating wealth out of misery and barbarism. They are uncivilized. They love calling us uncivilized. But who is civilized and who is uncivilized?
Yes.
And so we have to target the companies that are wanting to benefit from the destruction of Gaza and of Palestine. Predominantly the oil and the natural gas. But all of them. Who's going to benefit from reconstructing Gaza, building everything again, right? They all have what we call a motive. So there's a conflict of interest. And it's not only Zio-imperialism as represented by the US or Israel, is not real, my apologies. It is also Europe. It is also Arabs, let's be honest.
Yes, of course.
The billionaires who are negotiating and working with Is Not Real for many years behind the scenes. It is only the Palestinians who have maintained their sense of ethics and dignity and have cried out to the world to recognize what is really happening, who are our enemies, and why we need to stand together. And so there's a lot of work ahead of us, but we are ready for it. We just need to unite and support each other. And I believe that a free Palestine and a free Africa and a free Asia,
free world, then
can free the world.
MashaAllah. So the ceasefire is only, I mean, you're saying that ceasefire only a political tactics.
Of course.
Because they're still aiming what you want to get, like the mining or things like that. Still on.
Of course, and Gaza has very fertile land, the soil, the olive trees that they've destroyed. They're also on the beach, so it's the trade route. They want to build the Ben Gurion Canal. The so-called conflict is less about religion and more about economics.
But the issue, they brought the Kenya issue.
The religion?
I mean, they try to bring the story of the chosen people or things like that, and then they're being, I mean, Muslims want to kill the Jew and things like that. Even the real Jew don't agree with that, right?
They came as refugees. They ran from Europe.
Even the Netanyahu was the prisoners of Palestinian jail, right?
Yeah,
I have the picture. I have the picture.
Yeah.
When he was young, he was being detained in the prison of the Palestinian jail.
What did he do then?
I don't know.
But even Golda Meir, who was their prime minister or president or whatever of Is Not Real, in an interview said, when I escaped, I went to Palestine. There was no Israel then. She said it.
Oh.
And in interviews with former IOF, Israeli Offense Forces generals and leaders, when they are asked, if you were the Palestinians, what would you do? They said, I would fight Israel. So they know we have legitimate resistance, but they want to frame us as terrorists. And like we talked about earlier, they put this keffiyeh on all the Hollywood films, right? All the terrorists are wearing this keffiyeh, right? As part of their propaganda.
So all the bad guys wearing the keffiyeh. That's already being planted years back before the conflict happened.
Right. But we have realized that, you know, they used to say that Palestinians, or like heroes fight like Palestinians, but we know the Palestinians are the real heroes of this world, who are still standing and saying, we are here in Palestine, we are not leaving. We are not. Can you imagine the courage?
Yes.
If you look at the global Sumud flotilla, you must have had activists from Indonesia participating, right? And they talk about what they experienced on the inside. And that included 6 South Africans, including Mandla Mandela and others. Dr. Zahira Sumar, Fatima Hendricks, etc. They talk about what they experienced on the inside. No water, no food, no mattresses, it's dirty, they are being assaulted, humiliated, degraded, and they saw blood, handprints of blood on the walls of Palestinian hostages. And they say, can you imagine if they can do this to us as an international community? What are they doing to the Palestinians? One of the political detainees from the flotilla said she could hear them torturing the Palestinians. Not just the adults, the children. And one of their favorite and most sadistic forms of torture is sexual violence. They rape the children, they rape the women, they rape the men. Dr. Adnan Al-Bursh was raped until he died. Why? Because he's a healer? And now, apparently, they've agreed to release Dr. Hussam Abu Safiya, who was kidnapped months ago. But if you look at the last photograph we saw of him, how he was
and
how he is. I mean, we've just lost Saleh, may Allah grant him highest place in Jannah. But the Palestinian resistance cannot be extinguished. And it is teaching us that resistance will always win.
Can you imagine that 17 times of Hiroshima and Nagasaki's bombs being dropped in Gaza, but the Gazans remain there?
Remain.
Can you imagine that when Iran's bomb in Tel Aviv, how many 50,000 people flew to Cyprus?
Of course.
So it means who owns the land? The real indigenous, right? If you're really indigenous, you're going to stay.
Of course.
You have nowhere to go.
Exactly.
Because this is your land.
Of course.
Life or death, I'm staying.
They know it's not their land.
Yeah, of course.
They know it's not their land, and they ran to Cyprus and they ran to Greece. And the Cyprus are saying, now we are occupied. The Greeks are saying, what now? They're occupying us. Nobody wants them.
Yes,
Nobody wants them. You know, we say, we chant a lot in South Africa. So we say, settler, go home. Palestine is not your home.
I went to Tokyo last year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, last year. And we were on the elevator. Me and my wife in the elevator. My wife wear hijab. And the other two people there, husband and wife. I just where are you from? He kept silent, but took some seconds. Where you from? Yeah. I'm trying just to be nice. I'm from Israel, but I already stayed in Bangkok for 10 years.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why you explain that. I don't need that.
Yeah. Well, they know why. They're infiltrating Thailand as well, right? Right?
I thought that they feel insecure.
Yeah. They should be.
Yeah.
The only Israelis, so I have a theory, you know, that obviously only Palestinians can decide who can stay in Palestine. The only Israelis who can stay are the ones who are prepared to leave.
Yeah.
If you are staying there, it means you are part of the occupation.
Yeah.
If you realize what you're doing is wrong and you are prepared to leave, Alhamdulillah. I'm saying something true, right?
Yeah.
Then the Palestinians must decide. Because Israelis say, we don't believe in Zionism or we don't believe in the genocide. And there are Israelis who are protesting against the genocide. They are. But my belief is that you don't have an automatic right to stay there. There's only going to be one state, Palestine. And the Palestinians will ask you, are you prepared to leave? What did you do to stop the genocide? And then they will decide if you have a right to stay.
Yeah, it's impossible to have this two-state solution, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, in 1948 or 49, there were 45 for Palestine, 55 for it's not real. And they are fighting for that. And no, we are 100% Palestine. And then in this kind of two-state solution, Palestine share only 10%. How come? Yeah.
I mean, that's like South Africa as well. If you look at the ownership of the land, the majority don't have ownership of the land.
Oh.
No.
It happens now?
Of course. It is in the hand of the minority. And let me say, I have many friends who are white, who are lovely people, who work to help the black majority, who don't believe in racism. But the reality is that the economics of the land, who owns the companies, who are the billionaires, it's more the minority.
Yes, Indonesia also. 60% belong to minority.
Correct. So the real apartheid for me is economic. It is the 1% and the rest of us. In South Africa, in Indonesia, everywhere in the world. It doesn't mean that they're automatically white. But there is a class that thinks it's right at the top that pulls all the strings. So now and again, you see the people uprising when they are tired of corruption, when they are tired of the crime. And they remind the politicians who are the real bosses of the country.
Yeah, so probably that's why many countries, they admit Palestinians because they're afraid of being Nepalese.
Yeah, they don't want to go to the ICJ and the ICC.
Yeah.
But they also want to pretend so that they can have a piece of the post-genocide Gaza.
Okay. Inshallah. So, what's happening now? There are ceasefire now in Gaza, but what viral news happens today is Saleh being murdered. Even though there's ceasefire, there's something still happening in Gaza. It was like a trick. There are always some kind of things that Zayo do, yeah, to win something. Many people say that probably they're to kind of point of view. This is a traitor or civil war? What do you want to say about that?
It is traitors who are trying to instigate a civil war.
Yeah.
Because they know how popular.
They're trying to instigate.
They're trying. I mean, if you look at, I read on the way here, I was looking at Saleh's will. You know, you have a will when you pass away, your message, what must happen to your clothes, your house. And he said, you know, in the name of Allah, most merciful and compassionate, I leave this will not as a farewell, but as a continuation of a path I chose with full conviction. Allah knows I gave everything I had, my effort, my strength, to be a support and a voice for my people. I lived through pain and oppression. I tasted sorrow and the loss of loved ones, but I never stopped conveying the truth as it is, the truth that will remain an argument against every coward and every silent one, and an honor for everyone who supported, defended, and stood by the noblest and dearest people of Gaza. If I am martyred, know that I have not disappeared.
Inshallah.
I am now in paradise with those who went before me, with Anas, Ismail, and all the beloved who were true to their covenant with Allah. I ask you to remember me in your prayers. And it's a little longer than that. There's a message for his father, for his mother, for his brother. But for us, he says, I urge you to hold fast to the resistance, to the path we walked and the cause we believe in. For we have known no other way for ourselves, and we have found no meaning in life except by remaining steadfast through sumud.
Yeah.
Then there's a message for his father, for his brother, for his mother, for his brothers and sisters, and dua for us. And my martyrdom, don't think it's an end, it's a beginning. A long road towards freedom. I entrust you with Palestine. Your brother, the martyr by Allah's will, Saleh Amir Fuad Al-Jafrawi.
MashaAllah. So he knew already that someday he'll be martyred. Someday he'll be shuhada. MashaAllah. He know that he'll be martyred, and he's still doing the same thing. And I heard that there are some groups that are being funded by It's Not Real, that called popular groups, that they took almost all of the donation, the help from other people, and they're using the age group uniform, so they can make some kind of a issue that it is the age group who done that and things like that. They kill the Palestinians as well. It's becoming the hands of It's Not Real.
If you think about it, it's classic divide and conquer strategy.
Oh, divide and emperor. Divide, yeah.
And so that's what they do. They will find tribes or people that they can bribe, or intimidate, or threaten, or blackmail, and recruit them to work for them. I mean, there's high levels of poverty in Palestine, as you would imagine.
Yeah.
And so it becomes sometimes easy for them to bribe people who need a job, or to blackmail them and say, oh, I have information on you, or if you don't work for us, we'll kill your whole family. This is very common. And so the people of Palestine have rejected these traitors because that's what they are. And Is Not Real has also on occasion abandoned them. So last week, the news was they've been abandoned, and the by Is Not Real. Yeah.
Is that on the news?
Yeah, it was reported, and Palestinians said, you see, you betrayed us, and now they have abandoned you. Have you not learned anything? But maybe it was a trick, because now they have killed Saleh. So maybe some of them have realized what they've done is wrong, But there are others who are still working for the barbaric regime. You know, that's the same regime, Ari, that apartheid Israel supported apartheid South Africa.
Oh,
yes.
They are in the same group.
Same.
Oh, same agenda, I think.
Same agenda. They were supplying weapons to apartheid South Africa to kill people of color.
Ooh.
And it didn't end then. In 2010, Is Not Real stole missile technology blueprints from South Africa during the so-called World Cup year. Do you think that they were held accountable by the South African government?
I don't know.
No.
No. I don't know.
No.
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 Well, so there's something behind that on the political.
South Africa still has diplomatic and trade relations with Is Not Real. Currently, there is a company called Glencore. It is a mining company. It is selling coal. A South African company selling coal to Is Not Real to commit genocide.
People know that?
Of course. The government knows it. What is the government doing to stop them?
Probably because of the contract already being done for long term.
Conflicts of interest, because they are shareholders in that company who are working in government. One of the companies that's connected to Glencore is called African Rainbow Minerals. Who is the CEO of African Rainbow Minerals? His name is Patrice Motsepe. He's a billionaire.
African.
He is also the brother-in-law of the president of our country, Cyril Ramaphosa.
So that's why. I mean, they make the network so beautifully. Oh. Is there possible there are probably some Zayos in the government?
Of course. Of course. There are political parties that are openly Zionist. Openly Zionist. They went on a tour to Is Not Real a couple of months ago to see if there is any apartheid. Obviously, Is Not Real is going to show you what they want you to see, not this, look here, right? They came fully paid for, luxury trip, came back to our country and released statements to say, there is no apartheid.
That was happening also in Indonesia. There is some religious group. Even the Islamic religious group.
Really?
Yeah, they went there and said that there's nothing happened there. So, are you blind? Or probably we are the one that's blinding. I mean, in social media, how many proof that you want?
How many proof do you want? No, they reject all of that. I mean, remember, they made up October 7th. For them, history starts on October 7th, right? 2023, not 1947. They made up the stories about beheaded babies.
Yes.
Women who were raped. I mean, think about it. They were on a mission. This was a mission. Do you have the time? Do you have the time to take babies?
And beheading them.
I mean...
yeah, clock is ticking. Time is running.
You're on a mission. This is an operation. And there were so many Israelis who came out of that situation and went back and said we were treated so well by the resistance. And there is also evidence that Is Not Real use what they call the Hannibal Directive, right? Where if an IOF terrorist is taken hostage, that they can kill everyone in that surroundings to make sure that the IOF is not taken. So when you look at the satellite images, you saw those cars melted, burnt. The resistance does not have that technology.
There's no weapon from the resistance, right?
So they killed their own people.
Yes, of
and
course.
they blamed it on the resistance. And what does that remind you of? 9/11. False flag.
Yes. Because on 9/11, many, I'm going to say that probably many Zayos, many Zayos who works on that building are on holiday.
That's a fact.
Yes. And I have another story about Holocaust. They was being martyred by their own people. When the Hitler took the Jew on the prisoners and they want the bribe, Hitler wants the money for the war, and then they they look at the prisoners, mostly women and children, and they said, okay, I don't have the money, just kill them all. Thus, the world from the another Zion. So they killed they killed the Jew people to make the Nazi look bad.
The so-called elite, right? The upper class, the billionaire class, the parasites. They don't care about Jewish lives. They don't care about anyone's lives. So it doesn't surprise us when we hear what they did to Jewish people. They're still doing it now. And they have what is called the Samson option. The Samson option is if the world turns against is not real and attacks them, they can go nuclear and destroy the world.
Oh.
Yes.
That's the plan? That's the last exit.
Well, that's what they're actively doing, right? By letting the world see how barbaric they are, by the levels of depravity against Palestinians, by the violence against the global Sumud flotilla. They want us to attack them so that they can go nuclear and bring on the apocalypse, the end of days. So there is a segment in their society that is actively working towards we know they don't believe in Isa alayhi salam. They have no respect for Jesus, peace be upon him. But they are trying to bring the end of days so that
sooner
their savior, which is probably Dajjal, is going to arrive in this world. And so we are facing very complex times. And in as much as we're working for liberation, we also have to help people who are on the fence. So on the spectrum, there's people who's awake. There's those who are sitting on the fence. They're not quite sure. And then there's the evil ones. We have to work on that middle and bring them towards us. Because where they are taking us into the future with surveillance, artificial intelligence, 15-minute cities. You say Gaza is the method. What they're doing to Gaza, they will do to all of us. Even before 2023, there was biometric surveillance. You can't make one move in Gaza without them knowing. So they knew about the October 7th operation. But what they are creating now is you can't move out of the 15-minute space. 15 minutes only, right? You can't go out of that space. It's the same thing they're trying to do in the UK and in other parts of the world. And the use of AI, they use some of those technologies are called Lavender and Where's Daddy?
Where's Daddy?
Where's Daddy? Where's Daddy is the AI that will target the father when he gets into his home with his family. That's when they attack with the quadcopters. But they're using AI to make those decisions. So they can say, I didn't decide. It was the AI.
They're playing victim. Oh, actually, they can precisely aim somebody.
We saw that with the assassinations in Iran, in Lebanon. We know they could do that, but they chose to decimate the Palestinian people, or so they think.
So the carpet bombings it was like false narration, I think. Carpet bomb is only just, I don't know, behind the hospital, there is some age group.
Of course. There was lies. They were using AI and CGI, which has come out now. You know, there are a lot of journalists who are talking about this, who are saying that we are working as journalists in our country, but our company, like BBC, is not letting us tell the truth. And so these are the kind of technologies that exist, and they're extremely dangerous. People think that what is happening in Palestine is so far away, it doesn't matter, it won't happen to us. It's going to happen. And we need to wake up, but we need to also develop our sovereignty, our own media platforms, our own technology. We need to grow our own food and not rely on food that's been imported, that is poisoned, that is bad for us. We need to build resilient communities. That sumud that the Palestinians have is what we need. And so this is how we create a better world for ourselves. Less dependence on governments, on corporations, and more unity amongst us as the people. Traditional ways of living, cultural values, respect for each other. That's what it's all about. That's the kind of future we want to raise children in. Not children who are going into institutions to become hypersexualized, when all they think about is celebrity culture or the latest brand they can buy. They're rotting people's minds.
Yes.
Even the music you listen to now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Rabbi
it's
sir.
been so many years of being hypnotized on that kind of that standards. They made the standard is it is the I mean the best standard is their standard, right?
Yeah.
They made the standards.
I mean, who controls the entertainment industry if not Zionism?
Of course. Yeah.
Right? And so if you listen to a song, I try not to, but if you listen to music from these days, all you hear is encouraging violence, hypersexualization, the dehumanization of women, brands, buy this brand, go to that club, drink alcohol, take drugs, and that's what makes you a winner.
Of course, game as well. Mobile Legend conquering other countries, and you know the war games.
Yes.
Sometimes the enemy is like doing some kind of a Muslim outfit, thing like that. So it's like dehumanizing through games.
Exactly.
Like it is okay to kill that kind of guy.
A lot of the IOF snipers are the ones who have grown up playing those games. So they have been desensitized to the value of human life. It's nothing for them. They really believe they're just playing a game, right? But they're also being brainwashed to think that these people are just cockroaches, their lives don't matter. If we don't kill that child is going to grow up and kill us. So they say these things. But I must tell you that we have identified, there's a group of them, we have a very strong Palestine movement in South Africa. At least one of those groups has identified 77 South Africans who have gone to fight for Is Not Real and committed genocide.
Oh, you guys have the list.
The evidence is available. It's been given to the National Prosecuting Authority. What do you think happened, Ari?
What is it?
Not one of them has been investigated, prosecuted, or held accountable.
Oh, somebody's inside then. Somebody's inside. So it's not real, and the team, they also, they break every international law, right?
Of course.
Everything. They're killing the kids, killing women, and also journalists, like the one we saw with Saleh. So after this, probably when the justice are being raised, when everybody woke up, people power, someday could they get their justice? The shuhadas. Is there any? Probably only hope. Someday.
For the shuhada, their liberation is the fact that they are shaheed and that they are with Allah. That is the ultimate. For those who remain and for the generations to come, they're going to ask, what is this thing called international law? At the university on Saturday, I played a video. It's looking at Palestine, Gaza in 2040. And you see
by AI.
So by AI. Very powerful video. Maybe we can edit it in. And I played that because I wanted people to watch the children in 2040 asking their parents, asking their grandparents, why didn't you stop the genocide? What did you do? What were you doing? Why were you silent? And people at that event on Saturday were crying because that's the question. What did you do? What have we done? Or in South Africa, one of our famous struggle songs is Senzeni Na. What have we done? And so...
And which side are you? Which side are you? Which side were you?
Which side were you on? Did you speak up? Did you do anything? Did you just feel bad and keep quiet? Were you worried about how many followers you would lose? Or how much donations you might lose? That tells me, those who don't speak out, it tells me that they did nothing about apartheid in South Africa. It tells me that they don't have a problem with racism. It tells me that they would not have spoken up for the Jews who were killed during the Holocaust. They would have kept quiet because it was more convenient. Right?
You want to play safe.
So 2040 Gaza is a very powerful thought. I interviewed a lawyer, Palestinian lawyer, on a radio platform that I often do programs with, and shout out to Salam Media. She said to me when I asked about international law, she said, international law is under the rubble in Gaza.
Actually, all over the world, not only in Gaza, but Gaza is the proof,
the most obvious. But you make a good point. Because when genocide is committed against any of us, Are these courts going to save us? There's no, look, I'm very proud that South Africa took this case and had support from multiple countries filing, either support or filing their own actions. Fantastic. People got to learn, oh, there is such a thing as international law, right? But there's no enforceability. The ICJ can't force it. So the ICJ is for governments to file cases against countries. The ICC is anyone can file a case against someone who is a war criminal. But there's no enforceability. And if you look at the ICC, almost every one of the defendants at the ICC is an African. Why is George Bush, Bill Clinton, Tony Blair, who now wants to take over Gaza, why are they not defendants at the ICC? Who is protecting them? What is the value of these systems? And I can say it as a lawtivist, a lawyer activist, that we can't depend on the UN, on the ICC, on the ICJ, because that dependence makes us weak. To be strong, we need multiple strategies. Yes, you need law, you need human rights law. You also need the economics, boycott, divestment, sanctions. You need education on the ground, online. I mean, you had a massive march here in Indonesia on Saturday.
Sunday.
I believe there were close to 100,000 people. You were there?
Yeah.
Mashallah. I mean, that's people power, right? So we rely on Indonesia. At the event on Saturday, we had an activist from Palestine, Saleh Hijazi, and in his talk, he asked for very specific things that the Palestinians are asking for. Don't trade with them. Don't allow them through your waters. I mean, I know Indonesia denied them visas to participate in the athletics or gymnastics. Fantastic. But they have ways to infiltrate our countries and our economies. So I think we need to train people to thoroughly investigate every company doing business. All the contracts must be reviewed. Who are the shareholders? Who's hiding behind the scenes? And cancel those contracts. I mean, we have BRICS, right? As an alliance. It's not perfect. Ari, you and I are not sitting at that table as the people. It is still the...
probably another phase of Zaya, we don't know.
You know, one of my colleagues in South Africa, Patrick Bond, he calls it sub-imperialism. But, but it is a step forward towards multilateralism. So we need to build the global south. Yes, we can work with our allies in the north and the west, but the global south needs to strengthen ourselves. In the Sahel region, we have a country called Burkina Faso. It is led by Captain Ibrahim Traore. He's very popular, very famous, youngest president in Africa. His predecessor was President Captain Thomas Sankara, who was assassinated for standing up for his people. Now, what Ibrahim Traore has done, he's kicked all the French companies out. He said, you are exploiting our people. You are buying our resources like 2 cents, 3 cents, and you are marking it up hundreds of % and selling it back. My people don't have electricity. You in Europe have electricity. Out. Kick them out. Is choosing to give contracts to who would benefit the Burkinabe people. He is revolutionizing culture, bringing a sense of pride to the Burkinabe people. The judges no longer wear those white wigs, those colonial era.
Yes, I'm wondering why everybody, I mean, every judges have to wear that hair.
It's ridiculous. So building infrastructure, building roads, developing production facilities for food, farming, etc. So there's a revolution happening in the Sahel in Africa. We want that revolution to spread. We can do that everywhere. But we must remember that the power of the people is greater than people in power.
Oh, mashallah. The Mr. Ibrahim is still running? No?
Captain Ibrahim? President? Of course. But they've tried to assassinate him about 18 times.
18 times?
18 times.
I believe that probably if somebody, on the side of the people, somebody will assassinate. Probably. That's a theory.
That's a test that you've done what is right. I mean, how many African leaders have been killed? Biko and Hani in South Africa, amongst others. Lumumba from Congo, Sankara from Burkina Faso, and so on and so forth. Kwame Nkrumah. This is what they do when you try to stand up. Burkinabe people, however, they sleep outside his house to protect him.
MashaAllah. He's so loved there. Mashallah.
But humble, down to earth, not fancy, and like Trump must live in a palace and you must have a golden jet and none of those things. None of those things.
MashaAllah. I love how you portrayed the UN. I mean, it was like in your perspective that probably UN is like Zayo tools in making the the operation, the agenda being done as if it is right. So actually, the democracy already failed now, right?
It's a facade. It's a facade.
Only facade?
Yeah, it's just the front.
And behind, democracy only facade.
Of course. What is democracy? Where the majority, the so-called majority gets to impose its will, where elections are stolen, where we, the people, have no say. In South Africa's political system, yes, you can vote, but you're not voting for who the president will be. You're voting for a party that has money to program your mind.
Wow.
But the party decides who's going to be the president. That president decides who all the ministers are going to be. And if that president is captured, what's going to happen?
That was happening in our country.
You see? Same.
Same, yeah. Oh, I got your point. Yeah, we're not choosing our leaders, actually. Yeah. I mean, the patterns or the systems that push us to have the president that we don't want, or probably the leaders that we don't choose.
It's not the leaders you deserve.
Yeah.
Right? And so democracy is very much a facade that's been forced on us and is manipulated by the system. And until we have a system where the people decide, we're always going to have these problems. Ari, the system is not broken. It's engineered that way.
Yeah. That's the great quote. I mean, that's the great sentence. I believe that after I heard you, the only key is people power. Yeah?
100%.
Yeah, if it is people power, so everybody needs to be educated, right? So it's like a long journey from now, like so many Europeans or many countries that now their eyes are open because of Gaza.
Absolutely.
Many people, that I heard that around 300,000 mu'alafs all over the world because of Gaza. I mean, 100,000 get the hidayah. It's not only hidayah, that it was like the eyes are open that along the years they are being controlled. Everything from media, health, information, we are being controlled from around the last 100 years. So, in your opinion, how long that the people have the right knowledge about what's happening right now in the world?
Oh, what a good question. So I think there is an acceleration. Palestine has given us that accelerator in the car to just turn up the speed.
It was like speed up.
Speed up. We're moving too slow. I mean, if you look at the Global Sumud Flotilla, for example, wonderful initiative. I wish I could be on that flotilla. We tried, in fact, to get into Egypt, and we know what happened there with the Long March. The Egyptian government has got their puppets, and they violently assaulted the protesters and deported them. So the people of Egypt, Jordan, they have a lot of work to do to save themselves from the Zionazis who have infiltrated their countries. But if you look at the Global Sumud Flotilla, it is a shining example of the fact that we, the people, can only depend on each other. We can't depend on governments.
Yes.
The word government means mind control. Government, mind
government.
control. Right?
Yeah.
So which government? I mean, even I think Turkey sent some drones, but we don't know why. Italy turned its ship back. I think Spain also turned their ship back. So they said they would only be there for search and rescue. They were not going to accompany the people all the way into Gaza, right? But what it has taught us is that we can stand up for each other. Whether it's a genocide in Palestine, in Sudan, in Congo, if there's something happening in Indonesia, we can mobilize to help each other, and we can use all the means at our disposal from independent platforms like this to TikTok and X in as far
Yeah.
as they will let us. But, you know, we're very creative, so we find ways
Huh.
through. To, you know, publishing flyers and handing out flyers
Yeah.
on the street to raise awareness amongst people
Yeah.
to not only what the problems are, but what are the solutions. We've got to get out of the system. The system is satanic and it is there to cause us great suffering.
Yeah.
But people are starting to come out of it. I mean, people are refusing to send their children to the traditional schools because
Yeah.
what are they being taught in the school? They're being taught that if you think you're a cat or a dog, then you're a cat or a dog. They're being
Yeah.
taught that it is okay to be rude and disrespectful towards your parents and the adults. I'm not saying that where parents or adults are wrong, we should accept
Yeah.
it. That is also not our way. And Allah is very clear to us that we must always speak the truth. But the kind of values that are being pushed onto young people is coming from the system that is controlled by that same parasite class.
Yeah.
So when we speak to people about the problem, we must also provide solutions. For example, boycott Microsoft, use Libre. Because people will say, okay, I can what must I use? And so therefore the work needs to be done to share the alternative or create the alternative. If the solution is not there, let's build it.
Oh, that's great then.
Yeah.
So it's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
So we create the new world.
We create the new world. And the Palestinians, you know, there's like 7 million refugees, right? And it's horrifying. But the watermelon seeds, even though the watermelon's been bombed, those seeds are now planted everywhere.
Yes.
And that's powerful.
MashaAllah. So the only country that's not being colonized is Palestine, and also Palestine is the only country that their flag being raised in all over the world, right?
Have you ever seen such large marches in your life except for Palestine?
Yes.
Hundreds of thousands and millions. Well, this is why we say, in our millions, in our billions, we are all Palestinians.
MashaAllah. So the people pro-Palestine, but most of the government pro-Zionists.
Yes.
Yes. Most of the products pro-Zionists, most of the consumers pro-Palestine. It was like two worlds that probably this side sucking this part of the world, being colonized, being as a consumer, being controlled and things like that.
You know, I always say that people are not their governments and governments are not their people.
Yes.
We must have the distinction. Except in the case of Is Not Real, where 83% of them support the colonization of Palestine.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh. Because they are not the indigenous, right?
They're not indigenous, but also they are exploiting the American taxpayer. It's not really settlers have free healthcare, free education, holidays, subsidies for homes, vehicles. And here's the American taxpayer who can barely make it through their expenses at the end of the month. But Netanyahu said basically that they would suck America dry. He was being interviewed and they said, what about America? He said, don't worry about America. We control the Congress. So that's why when he goes into there and he gives one of his ridiculous speeches and he holds up that map showing greater Israel, both the Republicans and the Democrats, both, there are two sides of the same coin. There is no difference between Biden and Trump and Kamala Harris. I see now she's starting to creep forward again. It's the illusion of choice. She's not an option. The Americans need
There's nobody.
No.
AIPAC behind them.
AIPAC is behind them. So I mean, how can they be a choice? You know, sometimes you think when you're stuck between it's like a rock and a hard place, and here you are stuck in the middle. You need to push out and find an alternative. And if it doesn't exist, then create it. That's what we have to do. We can't, I'm going to drive ourselves crazy thinking there's only two options. They aren't.
Masya Allah. Jadi teman-teman, ini sepertinya justru membuka pikiran kita bahwa ini waktunya, ini waktu kita. This is your time. This is the Gen Z time.
Yes.
Right?
Well, we're not Gen Z, but it's our time.
Yep.
Too.
Now, I mean, we just open the door.
Yes.
We just give them the way, give them the channels, give them the information. We educate.
Yes.
And they are gonna be the doer, right?
We all have a part to play. It's like this massive puzzle piece, right, for the future we are building. And each of us is a piece in that puzzle.
Oh, I see.
Right? And we are the 99%. You know, I read this, maybe at the end of the show, I'll read this quote from Arundhati Roy, who's an Indian activist and writer, basically saying how powerful we are as the people. We tend to forget because we suffer a lot, you know, to poverty and violence and corruption. And we're just trying to survive every day. We just want our bowl of rice. We want to know our family is okay. But the world that they are creating is going to terrorize our children and their children. And so therefore, we have to stand up. And each of us has a role to play. Whether it is as farmers, as journalists, as doctors, as researchers, as lawyers, engineers, everyone has a role to play in creating this future. And so this is why I don't like to refer to myself as a leader. In my interactions with people, one of my primary responsibilities is to say, you too are a change maker. I can't do this without you, but we can do this together.
MashaAllah. So you're asking everybody as a game changer. So we change their game now.
Change the game.
Wow.
Now is our time.
Now is our time. Is there any last word for the youngsters now?
Yes.
Indonesian?
Yes. So I don't know if you're going to be able to translate it. On Saturday, I read this quote and the host of the program very kindly translated it for us. Should we do English Bahasa line by line maybe?
Yeah, line by line.
Okay. It's very powerful.
No problem. You say it in English, we have the text.
You have the text?
Yes.
Okay. Great. So, should I look at you? Should I look there?
No, look at the camera.
Look at the camera? Okay. So, it's coming up. These are the words of Arundhati Roy. She's an Indian activist and an author, and it's from a book she wrote called War Talk from 2003. And I read it everywhere because, here's why. She says, our strategy should not only be to confront empire, but to lay siege to it, to deprive it of oxygen, to shame it, to mock it with our art, our music, our literature, our stubbornness, our joy, our brilliance, our sheer relentlessness, and our ability to tell our own stories. Stories that are different from the ones we've been brainwashed to believe. The corporate revolution will collapse if we refuse to buy what they are selling. Their ideas, their version of history, their wars, their weapons, their notion of inevitability. Remember this. We be many, they be few. They need us more than we need them. Another world is not only possible, she is on her way. And on a quiet day, I can hear her breathing.
Masya Allah. Teman-teman, ini sebuah semangat banget ya. Bagaimana kita bisa ngalahin mereka dengan cara-cara mereka, dengan kemampuan kita masing-masing. Apapun profesinya, jadi yang terbaik. Karena apa? Karena kalian punya potensi-potensi luar biasa yang tentunya akan menjadi pemimpin-pemimpin masa depan, dan kalianlah orangnya. Jangan minder teman-teman semuanya. Quote-nya luar biasa, dan semoga ini akan menjadi penyemangat kita semua. Kasih tahu adik-adik kita, kasih tahu teman-teman kita, we are the game changer. Thank you very much for your time. You're so inspiring. It was like it was like a flame on the darkness. Mashallah, you bring up a lot. The information that the youngster needs to hear.
Absolutely. I'm so grateful for this platform, this opportunity, the work that you do with your team. Terima kasih.
Sama-sama.
Siabonga from South Africa. And
what is answer in African?
Siabonga, when we say thank you, I don't know what the actual response is, but I will teach you one word. That word is amandla, which means power.
Amandla.
Yeah. So when we do our marches, one person will say amandla, power, and the other person will say awetu, is ours.
Oh, amandla,
awetu. Yes.
Amandla in Indonesia in Bahasa means we are safe.
Yes.
Wah, Masya Allah. Teman-teman semua, jika rasa menarik, monggo silakan share ke teman-teman semua yang lain, di circle teman-teman semuanya, dan jangan lupa untuk follow Instagram beliau. What is your Instagram account?
Shabnam Palesa Mo, and you can also find me on X. So we are doing battle in different spaces.
Shabnam
Palesa Mo.
Okay. Click follow button, subscribe YouTube and YouTube.
Yeah, I got very censored during the COVID era, so I stopped. But I'm very inspired to start again. Let's challenge them.
Because we could talk more on YouTube, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What about TikTok?
Yes, also on TikTok, same name, Shabnam Palesa Mo.
Oke, silakan di follow teman-teman semuanya. Sampai ketemu lagi di episode berikutnya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.